A very warm greetings to all the viewers from Team Chhatras Sanskrit India. Today I am Manas Tiwari. I've been joined with a very eminent personality. Air Marshal Anil Khosla sir, TVSM, EVSM, DM retired. Sir is a highly decorated officer of Indian Armed Force who has served as Vice Chief of Air Staff with over 4,000 hours of flight experience in various aircraft and key defense operations. He is also known for his strategic foresight and dedication towards his service towards the nation. I'm truly honored to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you, Manas. Thank you for all the kind words which you said. And I look forward to talking to you and the TBA wrestling talk, I'm sure. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. My first question to you would be, what led you to choose a career in the Indian Armed Force, and what were some key defining moments you have actually had in your journey, sir?
That's a very interesting question, Manas. My father was in the Air Force, and my school was next to the FA in Kanako. We were posted there. Then he got lecture and he was a lecturer there. And our classes used to get disrupted very often whenever the MiG-21s and Alter aircraft used to take off from there. And during the break, we used to run and used to climb onto the ball to see the aircraft land and take off. I think that left a impression on my mind, maybe. And after I finished that time I used to do higher secondary exam. I went for the NDA exam, I passed. And then went for SSP, Service Selection Board, and I passed. So my father said, no, don't go into services. He wanted me to become a doctor. So I said, no, that I passed, I'm going. So anyway, I went, and then he said, you join Navy. Because he was in the airport, and by then my brother had joined Army. He said, there's a photographer in payments. So I said, no, I want to join the Air Force. So I joined the Air Force. When I joined the Air Force, my mother said, don't fly. That's interesting. So I said, no, I'm just sad. And then they were against fighter flying, so I went into fighter flying. Anyway, not that I was rebelling against it, maybe just me had something in me, and maybe my ambition was to go into that, the lasting impression which I said at the grade. And then rest is history. So I joined the Air Force, and Allah could have it with God's grace. Not many people come to that level. I think God was in me, and so from 40 years we were Air Force and had a very exciting career, and very like a lot of people ask me how good or bad is it. I give only one answer. If I get a chance again, I will join Air Force again, and not only any Air Force, I join Indian Air Force again.
Lovely, sir, lovely. So, you're really proud of your 40 years local service towards the nation. As I said, it's an incredible honor to be sitting next to you, sir. And as you mentioned about your journey, sir, I can't help it but ask you, how was this job? How was experience as Vice Chief of Air Staff, sir? And also, what are the key moments which you have faced or when national threat moments were there? How will you deal with them?
Yeah. So, what happens is, like any other organization in Air Force or Defense Services also, there are 3 levels which you go through. What is the junior level when you are the working force, and you are the fighting force, you are working force, and that is the first level. There is a medium level where you are the supervisory room and you are commanding a base or a station or something, and you are indoor or president war and other things. That comes third level at a senior level, you are like Marshal 2-star with 3-star thing. And where you are into policy decision and controlling over their costs or capability development and other things related to. So all 3 I enjoyed, and I was very, very lucky. I managed to serve in all the commands of the Air Force. I used to see all the areas of the country, and lucky to interact a lot with Abhi and Navy sisters also, and a lot of other normal administrations. And at the senior level, I was Director General Air Operations before I picked to Eastern Air Command as CSI, and then the Vice Chief. So these 3 appointments were very, very important appointments, and very broadened my knowledge quite a bit and gave me a lot of opportunities. So when you come as Vice Chief, not only Vice Chief, before that also you get into this doing VDA restorations like CNC Eastern Air Command, Botlam happened. So they gave me a lot of opportunity to go further, to go the service. And what happens is these services, the single pressures are different as compared to when you're flying or you're the same. And decision making, you have to, as what a board-up annotation. Whereas on the junior level, when you're taking a decision, the initial stage it affects you. Then your rights and vitals are in affects more people. But when you're at senior level, the entire Air Force let's say. So you have to take a decision after considering your things. So that is one issue. Second thing is, as a director general air operations or a vice chief, what happens is the things keep developing very fast. You know, no operational scenario, in the safety scenario, in the authority scenario, or training scenario. So things happen very, very fast. So your mind has to be very agile and adapted to switch from one topic to the other and quickly grasp the seriousness of this issue and take a decision. That is a major difference when you go to say to that.
So one thing which I understand from your journey so far is the experience you have had in different stages of your life as you're experiencing about to say. I couldn't help it when I ask you because the recent incident which happened in Jammu and Kashmir Pahalgam region about the attacks with terrorists did. How do you think India should recalibrate its defense and strategic issues and also the intelligence process in the same regards? And how would your experience will actually draw the attention to this?
Yeah, firstly, this incident is very unfortunate, very sad, and very cowardly, I would say. So the perpetrators who have done this. I mean, what sort of a mental capacity, I won't say mental makeup, or it has to be really degraded people who can think of killing unarmed, civilians who are on a holiday and killing them at point blank range. You have to be mentally demented. It's us. Terrorism is becoming a norm now with the state and non-state actors, which is unfortunate in the world. And the whole world is fighting with this menace. And in India, we have been suffering from it for quite some time, especially with our neighborly enemies who are perpetuating it, who are supporting it. It's very, very unfortunate. And second part of unfortunate is that so far they were, attacking military targets. This is the first time they've they've attacked civilians. That is very unfortunate. And secondly, they have given a twist of, religious divide in this. And I don't think we should let them succeed in this much. It is actually which not get divided on religious grounds based on this attack. As far as preventing these attacks are concerned in the broader sense, you have to increase your deterrence first. That means you need to be so strong militarily, economically, diplomatically, that these persons they take 10 times before doing anything. That is one, that is deterrence forward. Second is as far as the action is concerned, once act takes place, of like in this case PSP also some attacks are taking place, like Pulwama, figured Garapur strike. So message should go clear that we are not going to tolerate it. So the response, the period of action or whatever you want to call it, should be calibrated in such a way that people get dissuaded from doing it. Okay. And third thing is dealing with such situation need a little bit of recalibration from actual war which takes place where conventional wars where with a military fight. In this case, a little bit of recalibration is required, a little bit of delays is required, and it's not only military. It needs a whole of government approach in terms of removing the catalyst which exist and in these areas of the states which I won't say rectify or which do help in some way for these things to happen. So it has to be a holistic approach to it. I think they are doing well so far, and we need to do a little bit more to make sure that they don't hurry up.
So, didn't you last mention, so as we have seen the areas I would say actions in regards to the recent incidents that the water treaty has been kept on temporarily kept on board. Then we see that the aircrafts are extorting the region. Then we see more diplomatic actions being taken place of Pakistan and other people as well. The same way other diplomats have been asked to come back to the country, and the Pakistani officials have been asked to leave in 48 hours. These are diplomatic actions being taken within the same way. So I would ask him that the current war situation, what is your assessment towards India's air power preparedness and also evolving threats which it actually takes across?
Yeah. So this is a prayer event sort of, where event which is unfortunate and which caused a trigger to, downgrade relations or affect adversely the relations between the countries. And obviously, the moment this happens, such as a thing happens, the escalatory ladder comes into play. And the action which are there is multiple, military, non-option military action. in the diplomatic action, the economic action, the trade related action. We've already seen that they just started in this water treaty has been abolished, borders have been closed, the trade is being closed, the airspace are being closed, floods are on and all those things. And subsequently, whatever the government decides, absolutely. Now, in the broader sense, your question of preparedness was there. So, what happened? I'll give you the overall perspective. As far as I report Indian Air Force, since you asked me about Indian Air Force. So, over the years, like I was involved in the capacity very in the Air Force over the years, and I've seen the Air Force changing. Capability-wise, we have come a long way. With the capability in terms of standoff, capability in terms of precision, capability in terms of all-weather operations, capability in terms of long-range operations, capability in terms of working in the whatever advanced weapons, advanced platforms, advanced air defense units. So capability-wise, we have come a big way, standing airlift. But it is a capacity. There's a difference between capacity is the war. It is a war endurance. I am taking over. You heard in the news every time you talk on virus put strength to it. Our combat support aircraft numbers are low. Okay, so that reflects on the capacity. That means war years, and that is also happened because of over the years because the enemy were the next state becoming aggressive and all the things have changed now. The enemies have become aggressive. Their capability is rising. And based on that, we also need to enhance our capability so that we maintain the minimum we never stood in. So that is overall picture. And now, as far as Air Force is concerned, we need to spend money to get our capacity. I have in terms of hitting these platforms about where we thought we need to spend a lot of money. And broader sense, we need to support the self-reliance. Only thing is, while supporting that, in case we net worth value goes down, then we need to augment by till the night self-reliance addiction. That is where we are, and that is where we prepare.
Thank you, sir. And our heart goes out to all the victims of the recent attack that's happened to all the victims of the terror attack in Meherga, and we demand for swift action to be taken by the government. So, and what was the experience if you could tell us about today as you joined us for the Chhatra Sansad, the third chapter of Chhatra Sansad, which you're doing in Western Dhyani campus today, and you joined us as chief guest. We took you on to how we space up, and what was the experience like putting you to all the young minds of Air sir?
Yeah. So, Anas, right, I've been involved with Chhatra Sansad, quite a few educational institutions, and also I've been involved in Mobile UN, and there's a third initiative by a company called White Canvas, which is this conducts entrepreneur ethos, for it calls it making the youth future ready. So all these the initiatives are very good. I wish these initiatives are there and we were in school. Yes. We didn't have this opportunity. And today, as when when you interact the youth and you go to these institutions now, you find the youth is very much aware. The horizons are very wide, and not like us in school when we were just limited to our domain and our ABCD maximum. Now people are aware of global kind of questions they ask in the practice session is very amazing and very impressive. And when you see their confidence level, their awareness level, and their demeanor, their body language, you feel nice that India's future is in the correct hands and they're able to really take the country way. So it gives you a very nice feeling as such. And other good thing about this is initiatives like Chhatra Sansad, you're making the future ready for the current, contemporary and the future issues. You will go to a period of 3 days, you're discussing live issues which are at national level, which affects the entire country and not only population of short, it entire big population. So that has been heartening to see that the young people apply their mind to the particular colors of the good.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for highlighting. So, as we are working towards the same cause, our entire mission is to make sure that all the people across India, from the rural section, from the urban section, get to know about the country more, they get to know about the functioning of it, and they ask for the change, they demand for it. And as our founder, Vivek Kunal Sharma says, India being a young country is not enough. Young people need to step up and take the positions. We are asking for so long. Sir, my next question to you would be the same regards as that as we interact from chapters in the time we interact with young change makers, they always keep on asking us one question: how do we serve? we will run away by probably want to join an Indian Army or Indian Air Force or Indian Naval Force or any sort of army force, because they might not be able to get the back support from their family, or they might have their perseverance, or I would say the passion with some other course or some other thing which they want to pursue in future, but they still want to serve the nation. As you have served the nation for 40 years, sir, how do you think, in what ways can they serve the nation?
Yeah. So, Manas, this is a very, very good question and very nice question. And see, the thing is, what is it? Like earlier days, the aim used to be, or the parents also used to tell their children, like, get a job. Okay, get a jobs are very limited, doctor or engineer or defense services or civil services. Get a steady job. Okay, to earn money to sustain your family. Now the things have changed. The opportunities are galore. And, people I've seen who served in corporates and then left after 8, 10 years and started their own business or a startup to where their heart is. Okay, and the opportunities are there. And the other thing is, what you're asking is, how can you contribute? Why you're meeting your basic necessities of your earning money for your family or, whatever, for your parents and the children. That, and secondly, contributed towards the nation payday. That is what. So earlier it was space for more of this. Yes. Now opportunities are there and you can do both. That is my message to the youth. That you can earn your money, to look after your children, your family and your parents. Why again that you contribute to the nation building? You can do it. And in nation building, it's not only military. I mean, there's a lot of this thing, opportunity. You can go into education, you can go into healthcare, you can go into any sectors. You can go into technology, you can go into technology research. You can go into space applications, you can go into cyber world. I mean, now the opportunities are many and you can contribute effectively for some nation building. Coming specifically to the military aspects of the military part, you can still do it not by only joining Army, Navy, Air Force. Yes, sir. Not necessary. It's a full ecosystem. So when I say ecosystem, we talked about self-reliance and Patta. So the ecosystem is the users of the defense forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, or say paramilitary, on post guards. Okay, all military part. Okay, that is one. These are the users. You could be in the Caribbean, that is a think tanks and your ITs and all your educational institutions more ideate and innovate. This would contribute to help. The third pillar is research and development, R&D, DRDO, civil R&D. You can join the organizations and contribute towards the national military part. Fourth is the manufacturing sector. You could be into the manufacturing sector, private or defense PSC. So any of these four verticals you can join rather than be only in Army, Navy and still contribute to the national military aims. Suppose that is what, so opportunities are a lot. You won't have to take in uniform only to work, you can still contribute.
So, drawing the inspiration from your works is also one of our initiators called International Knowledge Tours. If we take the students from young school mites in different regions from across the country to meet all these people as well. So we also had an opportunity to go to Ministry of Defense in Southern Block in Delhi, and also be in the secretary of those institutions who have been working in the same region, the DRDO chief and other people as well. So they interact with them, they learn from them, they also get to learn how to serve the country. And one of the messages which you have given to the students, I'm really, really inspired with them. So one thing which I would like to ask you is that one message which you'd like to give to all the young students who have been listening to you. I understand you spoke about this just before this, but one message, sir, which you will tell them in regards to how should they look up to their future, because future is something which really, really, I would say, makes us feel insecure. As an individual, 22-year-old, I was still juggling between getting to choose my majors in future on my masters or go ahead and lose some nation. So a lot of things to think about. It's an AI world, as we said, a highly technological world. It doesn't look like a black and white anymore. So how do you think the students imitate their calm and pursue what they want to do in future? So,
yeah. So this question is asked quite often. So one is, generic this thing, and second is specifically what you said about, deciding how to go where to reach to. So it's like, the first part I will say is generic. So first you have to be good human being. Yes. Okay, then we are professional, and I covered in the very strong part. So that's very, very important. Second is hard work. Third is, as your responsibility towards others is be tolerant. Okay, so that way, bring in all the rest to you. But coming to the specific, which what to pursue or how to pursue and those things. See, what happens is like in military, they say when you are in military, when you're tackling an enemy, you should know about yourself, you should know about the enemy clearly. Yes, and I'm just giving an example. I'm saying the work is empty or anything. So why they say this is, when you know yourself, you know your strengths. And by this age which you're talking about, you know what is your strengths, what is your weaknesses.
Yes.
Okay, what are your likes and what are your dislikes, all the 4 things. Then know the enemy needs, know the enemy's strengths, weaknesses, so that you can pitch your strength against it. And so when you're dealing with the situation, know what you're getting into, whether you like it or not, whether you dislike it, what are the termination, all those things. And to my mind, you should, as I said, the opportunities are below. So choose one thing which matches with your likes and strengths.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and give it a go. The second part is, now the youth is very, very bold, I would say. Like in our case, what used to happen is, the opportunities were limited. Once you caught a profession, you carried on it. Now I find, if you don't like it, you chuck it, maybe go into the next case. Opportunity is there, why not? So it's like, what you ask specifically is like a river flowing. So what happens is, with the river flows, although man tries to control it, but in a natural case, the river takes its own course, vice versa. Same thing as with life. So when you start up with whatever you feel is correct for you, and start with that, in case you find some more lucrative this thing or you don't like this thing, change your course a little bit till you find. Okay, and the opportunities are there. It's not that you get stuck into one thing and then you're, and don't ever feel that you have wasted your time. No, nothing wasted. Whatever you do, you're learning something, skills, and it's making you a better person, better human being, better professional. Okay, giving you some skills, transferable skills set up. So it's not wasted. It's always. And last one I will say is that you will finally find your whatever today Dr. Rizvi said. Yes, sir. Your maksad. Absolutely, sir. So you will find your maksad finally. And once you find your maksad, give it a full go and be happy about it.
Sure.
And whatever decision you take, don't think back and say that I did a wrong decision. Don't self-bash yourself. Because when you took that decision, there were certain inputs to you. Based on that, it took right or wrong, doesn't matter. You took a decision, you pursued it. So don't bash yourself later on ki retrospect, I should have done this. I've done that. You got all.
Absolutely, sir. I agree. I think that there should be no regrets. Everything Saloni speaks in the power way. So one last thing, why when we take the students to different tours and different learnings as well to Chapter Center, one thing which they get to know is about how to get into the forces. They get to know about how the day would look like for an officer who's been work in different sectors of Army, Navy, or your force as well. But tell me, what's the next step? Once you're retired, what's the next step for you, sir?
Yeah. So what happened is, services is very, very exciting. There's never a dull moment. I say that. It's a demanding job, and there are a lot of exciting things happening, and it happening at a very, very fast pace. I'll tell you my personal example. I was vice chief till 30th of April, and till 29th evening, the phone is ringing. There's a panic here, there's a panic there. I'm solving this problem. I'm replying to that, and I'm doing firefighting, and I'm doing something else. 30th session. Come 30th morning, I go to work. I go to what do you call it, Amar Jawan Jyoti, and now the War Memorial. I pay my dividends to the state soldiers in my expects, and I come back to air headquarters. I meet the chief. He gives me my diamond booklet, which is about all my service everything. The people are lined up. I get out of air headquarters, they give me a guard of honor, and I'm out of air headquarters. Now I'm out of air headquarters. I cannot re-enter the air headquarters. For that, I need to get a pass made. I go home. I'm looking at the phone. When I look at the phone, I have to say, why can't you stop ringing? Now I'm looking at the phone for 3 hours. I say, when will you ring?
You're absolutely, sir. How do you remember this change?
It is a drastic change altogether. Okay. So a lot of people plan out their retirement well in time. Unfortunately, I couldn't because of various reasons. You know, the appointment was then my father would happen. Then my father was hospitalized. He died for dealing for my. So my retirement plans were not there. It was a bit of a chaotic situation. River finding its way, all the things happening. But people do plan out, take up some work which are related to their core competency.
Yes, sir.
Not for money, for keeping us busy, studious, mentally active. I also wanted to work. I was very keen. But then when I retired, by the time I sorted out my private problems, what is going, COVID happened and all the jobs did so. And we were got tough and everything. So I started writing and talking to people with the aim that moreover I learned 40 years, why existed? Pass it on. So with that I started with leadership and management package. And started writing about it, started talking in. Then one thing led to other and I was so interested in it. The last 6 years I've been doing that. So various matters I've written here. I'm working with a lot of think tanks, with Ishwishan service, private, corporates, and writing for a lot of journals. And in the process learning more and more. So that is what for me, and I think this is it, along with my personal hobbies, which are
Please say words a day.
my personal hobby is puzzle solving, which I do almost 3 hours a day. And national level, I've gone to school championship at
That's lovely.
So Luku now 40th time I'll be going this year in Calcutta in Endlapnet, and others for the 5th time. So that is very time consuming.
I feel like that's one thing we have to talk about in the next episode. Also say this. That would be an interesting question about how you really would have been.
And it affects life also. No?
No, absolutely.
It's a way of puzzle solving.
You take it up in the morning first time or the second?
First thing, when I get up,
First thing in the morning.
1 up or 2 hours of puzzle solving. And then in the day, during the day, sometime whenever I get time, I get. Whenever I'm traveling by road or train or not train, must be by air and
So that's lovely, sir. That's lovely. And I must say this one thing, that your energy and enthusiasm is so infectious. At the age of 22, I could say that you have more energy and enthusiasm than I do, sir. And it's much more in you to serve the nation. I'm really grateful, sir, that I could spend time with you. And I'm really thankful for your time and efforts you've given to us. With us was Air Marshal Anil Khosla, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.